Okay, welcome. Welcome. This is American Hammers TV, AHTV, and Friends, our Monday night show with me and a couple of my friends from around the world. So, first things first, check out AmericanHammers.net. We still have stuff for sale, and Threadless is shipping. Threadless is doing an awesome job getting shit printed and getting stuff sent out to everybody. A lot better job than our UK shop, unfortunately. Our UK shop, Redbubble, is taking forever. I guess they're like overwhelmed with demand and lack of employees because of COVID and everything else. But you can order stuff from the UK through our Threadless store. But anyways, it's on AmericanHammers.net. We also have links to other videos of ours. Yeah, let's get cracking into this. I guess there's really nothing else to talk about. I don't want to get too much into what's already been said about the previous matches because I'm trying to keep myself calm. But it looks like our chat room's already popping off pretty good. Welcome, Neil. Good to see you from Australia. It's 9:20 in the morning. Good grief. All right. So X apparently had mentioned that, these kits are, we're going to look like the 15-16 kits, kind of. And, well, not so much kind of. They look exactly like the fucking 15-16 kits. They were not leaked, but they're out today. So you can pre-order them today. And
I seen it last night before it was launched.
Oh yeah, look at you, bastard! You could have warned me, man. Listen,
I was sworn to secrecy.
Oh geez, yeah. They changed the badge. There's, for me personally, there's some pros and cons to it. All right, it's not all bad. Now the kit itself, I love the white shorts. I love the white socks. I love that combo. It's definitely a throwback, more of a throwback than the 15-16 season where they used the claret socks. Now listen, the shirt itself, my first thought wasn't the 15-16 season kit. When I looked at this, my first thought was they're wearing a fucking claret tank top over a baby blue t-shirt. That's exactly what it looks like to me. And I wasn't thrilled. I mean, I'm still not thrilled. It'll probably grow on me, obviously, just like every other kit that I've ever hated. I end up buying them all anyway. But definitely not pre-ordering this one. Not in a rush. Nothing really excited me. The pros with the badge for me personally, and we will go take turns going down the list here. But the pros for me are the banner back on the badge, like right underneath the badge, like our last badge had. Mm-hmm. And that before it, and the one before that one. I kind of like that banner feel. It kind of fills it out. I love that so much, but I can't stand the fact that it says London still underneath the badge, especially for a 125th anniversary commemorative badge. With castle or no castle, I mean, I would prefer obviously the castle, but I don't expect them to since we don't have the castle at our stadium anymore. But still, it would be nice to touch. But other than that, man, I mean, I love that banner below the badge. I just cannot stand the London fact. So anyway, looking forward to the away kit. From what I'm hearing about the away kit, I'm really excited about the away kit. And the third kit, I'm excited about as well. So we'll do another show on those when they come out. But anyway, Danny, let's go with Danny, and then we'll go to Andrew, and then we'll go to Dom and get your thoughts each on these kits. So Danny, what do you think?
I can't unsee what you just said now that you said it with the tank tops over the blue shirts. I see that looking at yeah. I think they've done okay. They've not done too much to it to change it. I agree with you on the London part being on there. I feel like that's a part that shouldn't have been added. We haven't been, where we are now for 125 years. We're new to there. Taking that away, I do like the kit. I don't think it's horrible. I think it's basic, which is, to me, a lot better than this season. I cannot stand watching us on the TV with the kits we wear. I like the white socks, white shorts combo. And hopefully that's the last time I see Felipe Anderson in one of them shirts. I mean, it kind of looks like pajamas. It kind of looks like if you're going in the West Ham store and you go to the pajama section, it just looks like a night shirt.
It looks like a training kit, dude. I mean, it looks like a...
I would have liked to see the crosser on it, but I understand obviously why they didn't. But again, the move to London Stadium, the whole change of the badge. If you're going to do something for the 125th year, then I feel like we should celebrate the more years than the most recent So, but I mean, I'm not against it. It's not horrible, and I'd rather wear that one than the one I'm wearing now. So, you know,
Yeah.
it is what
We've had many badges in our history with just the crossed hammers with nothing written on it. I mean,
Yeah.
just the crossed hammers. So I don't mind that the castle's not there. What I mind is it says London. You know, we didn't like it when they changed the badge when we moved to the stadium, and now they're doing a different logo. They didn't have to put that in there. Is my point for this. This was something separate. This is an anniversary. They didn't need to put the London in there. But anyway,
I don't know
Andrew,
how I feel about the neck of it either, though. If you look at the neck of it, it just doesn't look.
I was one of the few people that really like puked when I saw the 15, 16 kits come out, because I couldn't stand that thick collar. I mean, I don't own that kit. I mean, I don't own that home jersey because I thought it looked stupid on. I mean, I don't like that on me personally, but I don't know about. I mean, I don't like looking at it either on the players. But yeah. Anyway, and Andrew, what's your thoughts, man?
I mean, I see what you're saying about the tank top too. The simplistic white socks and shorts are really nice. The banner, like you said, it like having it back. Somebody on Twitter had taken out the London, and it really does look a lot better. It looks almost like crowded at the bottom with everything kind of going on now.
Yeah.
It's again, so I mean, I think it's simplistic as far as the badge and stuff like that. It's good with just kind of the two colors, but again, it to me, I mean, the history of West Ham getting their kits from Aston Villa anyway. I mean, kind of just seeing the kind of colors like that is, again, I don't have a problem with it. Again, now looking at it, I can't unsee the tank top, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Now that somebody mentions it, but
I don't know if it's just the angle or what that they chose.
Yeah.
But listen, I did see a good one where they added GSB out instead of London on the bottom. that looked nice too.
Yeah.
Dom, what are your thoughts on the kits?
I like it, man. I think it looks good.
Okay.
It's very, very similar to the kit we wore in the final season at Bowling, and that's probably my favourite ever West Ham kit. Because you've obviously it's a anniversary / milestone, whatever thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a special one. To be honest with you, I didn't really notice the London on the badge. I think it's just been changed. It is what it is, I'm afraid. I mean, most of the time, to be honest with you, Tim, I don't even realise it's on the badge half the time. But I think it does look good with the 125-year edit added to it. And I think it's a good kit. I think we've had a few good kits in the past. Since we moved, I think the kit we had when we first moved to the London Stadium was all right. It's just got, it's more or less the same, man. Like it's a big change from the one we've had this season, but they're more or less identical. But the badge with the 125 year, I mean, it looks nice, but I can understand why people don't like London on it. But we've had it on our badge since we moved, and I never really noticed it, so I'm not really going to notice it now. It's all right. I like it.
The more you say that, the more I think about it, actually. London technically is small enough, whereas the font of West Ham United is so massive. Some people, I guess, don't really notice the London on it as well, especially with how busy the banner is at the bottom of this new badge. It kind of does take away from it, I guess. And I'm telling you, I love the shape of this new badge. I love that banner at the bottom. It adds so much. So I do love that.
Almost got like a retro kind of feel to it.
Yeah, and again, like how do I put it? Like we've had, I'm not saying I want something fucking crazy busy like our goalkeeper kits, you know what I mean, with all these diamonds and weird trapezoids and shit all over it. I like the simplicity, I suppose. I just wish that the sleeves were, I don't know, like the shoulder parts where the tank toppy look is. I wish it was thicker, I suppose. That's all I'm saying. But again, I preface this with, when I first started this conversation, was that I know it'll grow on me at some point. It will grow on me. and I will end up buying the damn fucking thing because I have to. But I mean, it's I'm just not so excited about the initial feeling of it. There was also another fucking photo that was photoshopped earlier floating around on Twitter. It was some dude in the pool, and they like photoshopped just the tank top version of this on him, where he had like no sleeves at all, and it was some fat dude in the pool.
Did you see the Snodgrass one?
No, no.
Yeah, someone photoshopped a cock on his one. I'll send you it after the stream, man. It's funny.
That sounds great.
One goalkeeper kit's been leaked, right? One goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's in the shop too for pre-order. It's
but it's just the away one that's not come out yet. Or the third away and the third one. Okay.
And it's super teal, or not teal. It's like a weird green, like a light, soft green. But again, whatever. I mean, goalkeeper kits, I really don't. I never buy them anyway, personally. But as long as they're bright enough, I guess, good on them. All right, let's get rid of this shit, and we'll get into the next topic. So,
Tim, I can see you.
You can see me now. Okay,
yeah,
good.
Man, the live bit was covering.
Oh yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but yeah. So, all right. So there was something in here earlier. I guess Aaron Cresswell said some shit about Declan, and yeah. So he said on TalkSport, I guess today, that this is Aaron Cresswell on TalkSport, said that Rice would be better off elsewhere. I guess that's paraphrasing. Now, is that a shitty time to say something like that on TalkSport? You know what I mean? Does that cause any distress in the dressing room?
Of all people, right? The thing is, Tim, right? I look at two ways. I think he's right. He is bang on. Rice is better off being somewhere else than us because he's never going to make it to the top. What he will eventually get with us. I've no doubt Declan Rice will leave either at the end of this season or the end of next season because, you know, we're either going to go down or we're just not good enough to have a player like him. You can't go shouting your mouth to TalkSport, of all people, the biggest bunch of media parasites in football. Right? They're scum.
Yeah.
They are absolute toxic parasites. And they are the last people you want to go shouting your mouth off to. And you're right. Team morale matters at this stage when we're where we are. To do that is just why? Like, what's the point in doing that? I don't understand our players sometimes, man. This squad's just a joke. This squad is a joke. It's full of. That's the mentality and the attitude we've had this season. You know, just don't care. You clearly don't care if he's saying stuff like that. Yeah, he's right, but you know, you can't. Some things are best left unsaid, especially when you're a professional footballer on that team. It's like you're touting your club's best player for a move away when we need him right now the most. Why?
Yeah, and he's already he played next to him. I mean, he played next to him recently. You know what I mean? When Declan played center back, I mean, he was on that same side. Like, what if that happens again?
He plays with him anyway. He plays with them anyway, but like, it's not good for team morale, and obviously, you know, it's gonna. The other players aren't going to take too kindly to it. I don't think.
You don't think so?
And it's like you say, it's going to cause a lot of issues. I mean, this, to be honest with you, Tim, this is the first I've heard of it, literally just now. So, like, I've not seen it, but until you mentioned it, and you know, TalkSport aren't nice people. You know, they love to chat shit. And, I mean, Declan's going to think, like, you know, Declan's probably told Cresswell he's better off somewhere else. I mean, I don't know if he has, but, you know, he could well have been, and maybe that's how people are going to see it. I think, well, you know, if you don't want to be here, fuck off. And, you know, I just hope no one, you know, sees this in bad light for Deck, because he's a good guy. He's a fantastic player.
Yes, yeah.
And Cresswell, you know, it's a bit of shit stirring for me.
Yeah, I didn't listen to it myself. So I think maybe he could have been baited into it. I don't know. I just know that one of our American Hammers network guys was listening to it, and he's the one that brought it up in our chat room right after he listened to it. And then another guy from our chat room is quoted as saying, this is from Lucas, who's been on our show a bunch of times from DC. It's quite obvious that Rice is better off, elsewhere, along with some of the better players in our squad. But during a relegation battle, coming from a loyal servant to the club, fuck that. And I couldn't imagine. I couldn't begin to imagine if Noble got caught saying something like that. I mean, it's just Cresswell. I mean, to most people, right? But what if I don't know. It's toxic, is what he's saying, pretty much.
Yeah, but wouldn't you look at it?
Needs to leave, if anything.
Yeah, well, that's
useless.
Here's the problem is going to be is if you go down, no one's going to want Cresswell, so you can probably be stuck with him next year too. Granted, you'll have less, competition, but
dog shit.
I mean, at this point in time, the reality is we're in that battle, and that if you're going to say things like this, and granted, you can't as a club say, "Hey, don't say this, don't say that." I mean, Tim and I come from the New England Patriots, where they know how to handle themselves in a interview. They don't give away stuff. They don't say things that are on the line because they're taught, "Hey, this is what is used against us to help other teams win." Yeah. So I mean, if you're going to go into these things, you have to know where you are in the space-time continuum. I mean, you're not in a good spot as a team. Why even stir the pot even a little bit?
We're only back 2 matches. You know what I mean? And then this shit comes out. It's not just comes out. I got to re-listen to it. I'm sorry. I mean, I do have to listen to it myself because I don't know if he was baited into it or he just, he fell for it. You know what I mean? Or he just wanted to get it off his chest. I don't know. I don't know the context.
That doesn't matter if he was baited. Then he's a professional.
I
told to handle yourself better in these interviews.
Listen, if someone's baited into it, I don't know the actual person's mentality. Obviously they're clearly not trained at doing interviews. Clearly, none of these fucking idiots are. So maybe he's a simple-minded kind of dude when it comes down to this stuff, and maybe he got baited into a situation, and I don't know. I mean, I would give him the benefit of the doubt when it comes down to that, but at the same time, it is a shit time regardless if he was baited or not baited. I mean, it's a shit time to come out because we've only been back for 2 matches and we've lost them both embarrassingly. So anyway,
let me tell you now, you would never see this at any other club ever. It's just there's so much out of context stuff that happens at West Ham that you would never see at any other club. Most of it's just PR bollocks. It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. It just sums it all up.
And your club captain saying what he said as well before we come back, that we expect to lose these games.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on? That these players are just thinking, like, where's your fight? Where's your balls and your will to win? Don't say you're going to come back and lose games, and don't say someone's better off elsewhere. Let them prove it. I think Rice has been quality with all of this. He's a young kid, and he's completely different to like a Jermaine Defoe or Ngakia listening to agent kind of thing. He's just playing football. He's just doing his thing. And if a move comes, it comes. And I think everyone knows Mason Mount at Chelsea is one of his best friends. And I'm sure they've had conversations about coming to Chelsea. And Mount's going to go and talk to Lampard and the Chelsea board and stuff and say, bring him in. But until he makes that move, he's a West Ham player.
That's it.
And it's just, you don't go around saying that. And honestly, unless we make an example of the players that are doing this shit, I would have dropped Noble for the first game back, and I would drop Cresswell for this weekend. Like, you can't go around doing that. You've got to handle the media differently, and you work your way around the questions they ask.
Be punished. Yeah.
You don't do it like that.
Yeah. No, you're right.
We all know Rice.
No doubts he'll end up at Chelsea. No doubts.
Well, I mean, Rice.
I think no matter what, Rice is gone at the end of the year, whether you're up or down. Now the question is, how much do you get his value for? Because you're still up, or because you've gone down, now you got to take a cut in that, and then now you're in.
Well, that's the thing. So if we stay up, is 45 good enough? 45 mil with what Chelsea's looking to offer, is that good enough for GSB when we're up, or are we going to get a lot less if we go down? Like, I mean, or are we going to get 45 if we go down? Who knows? I mean, I don't know.
I don't think they'd take much less for him if we go down. I don't know what exactly he gets on wage-wise, but a lot of these players are sold based on wages and money that we're losing. he's going to be sold regardless. He's not a championship player. Like Cresswell, for example, is a championship player. Declan Rice is a top 4 player, and he's going to go. If we stay,
he's
up,
on the England squad. Remember with Scotty Parker? I mean, and remember, Jermaine Defoe and everybody else who fucking left us because once we get relegated, they needed to keep their England status.
Yeah. The fact is, we're losing him, and he's a youngster, and he's going to grow up and see the people around him talking all this gibber, and he's just going to. So
Andrew thinks that regardless, he's gone. Dan, do you think that if we stay up, he's gone as well?
Yeah.
And Dom, do you think if we stay up, Declan Rice is gone too? Or do you think that we have a chance of keeping him?
I'm not sure. Like we could keep him for one more season. I think maybe, but I would say more likely he'll go. But there is a chance he'll stay for one more season. If we go down, he's gone, no doubt.
I mean, at 45, if we stay up, I mean, I'm hoping you get closer to 60.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I'm hoping that you get. But again, if you go down, you're not getting anywhere close to 30.
I mean, we're
a relegated team. They know you have to sell them.
More.
We're a selling club. Then the owners.
That's the problem. That's the problem we've always had. We've always been selling.
Yeah. The academy, I don't like to enter the academy, but the amount of players that we've sold over the years that could have turned West Ham into a bigger club is unbelievable. And it's come down a lot for the owners, whatever owners we've had. Money always talks, and I mean Declan Rice is quality, but he's too good for West Ham. But I'm not going to say it on an interview, So
right, exactly.
What are you saying, Dom?
We'll get more money. We'll get more money if we sell him, if we stay up, because if we go down, we're literally stuck in. We won't have a choice because he'll want to go, and we'll have to just take what we can. It's like what happened with Payet. I'm not saying Rice is going to refuse to play, but you're in a more vulnerable position to sell when you're in a lower league. Is what I'm saying. So yeah, I just think if we are to sell him, we'll get more money if we stay up.
But that's the thing, though. So here's the devil's advocate, I guess. So if we go down, do we have to sell him? Or is it one of those deals? You think that Declan Rice is the type of player that would hold out, not show up at training because we're not selling him to a Premier League club?
As soon as he doesn't get on that England squad, then that's when I think he starts making that move. Again, if that's the case, that they go, you're not playing the good competition, we're not going to put you on the England squad anymore, then he may make it. But he doesn't seem the type to just kind of go, I'm here. They couldn't sell me for what they want.
You don't know, do you? But
no.
In modern football, I mean, he isn't the type to do it. But the trouble is, in modern football, if players want to move, or it's the same with a manager. They don't want to play for the manager. They'll do everything they can to get that manager sacked.
Yeah, they perform.
If they want to move, they'll do whatever it takes to get a move. We've seen it. They'll fake injuries. They'll not bother playing. They'll do this. I mean, we've had loads of players do it, like Payet, Diafra. They're just, you've seen it with, Arnautovic, Ozil at Arsenal, Sanchez at Arsenal. They just do what they have to do to get the move, and I hope it doesn't come down to that because he's such a breath of fresh air. Hungry, always puts in 110%, and it will tarnish his reputation if it does happen. So I hope it doesn't. But like I said, he's not the type of player to do it.
Yeah. Well,
I think it says a lot that he is the main person on the new West Ham kit. The intentions of keeping him are there. You got some teams that put some dodgy players as their main person. We've gone with our best player, which is a sign of intent to keep him, which is a good thing. But
I think it's just because, listen, Karen Brady's a marketing genius, and I think it's just that he's our most marketable player, literally because everybody else is shit.
Look what they want to do going forward. They want to have young, hungry players going forward. He's the perfect player to start this team around. That you have young players, they're going to come compete every single day. They're going to want to keep their places. And he proved it from the first day that he stepped into this lineup.
Yeah, but I've got intentions of keeping him. But, I've got intentions of buying a house. I've got intentions of, winning the lottery and buying a Ferrari. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, does it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's but you know, I don't, you know, obviously it'll be great if he stays, but you know, he's got so much potential, and there's all these big teams sniffing around.
Yeah.
It just looks so unlikely, man.
I'd rather him go to United. I think we all would than go to fucking Chelsea.
I would. I don't think he'd do it, United, man. I don't think he'd do it because
The
United don't have a
the menu
system.
gameplay is too slow. Yeah, I think. But why would you go back to a team that let you go? If Chelsea let him go, why would
I know.
he? Why would he make that move? And I don't think Don fit in well.
He would have gone back there to prove a point. He'd go back there to prove a point, and I think Lampard's the right manager as well.
Yeah.
Man, would sign him if Pogba
and his best mates there.
Let's offer him. Let's offer Chelsea Carlos Sanchez, and we'll pay him fucking 20 million. We'll pay Chelsea 20 million to take Carlos Sanchez. There's your holding midfielder, and back off.
Sanchez is gone now, mate. We can't offer him.
Ah, fuck, that's right.
With a free if they like.
Damn it!
But thank God, what a useless waste of space that guy is.
All right, let's change the subject. I'm so depressed about that. But anyway, Carlos Tevez. This is old news, but apparently he opened up not just to us, but he said something about going to either Corinthians or West Ham United. He'd be open to it. It's not happening. Okay, but that's not the point. The point is, I'm trying to ask all of your opinion on: would you take him back for like 6 months, like he was saying he would do? I mean, did you picture having him back for 6 months? He said he would even come back for a 6-month applause. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Let's start with Dom and go counterclockwise. Let's get some order.
The thing is, man, it was such a long time ago when we had that guy. It was 13 years ago. It was 14 years ago when we signed him. It's like I just don't see the connection. If you know what I mean, I just don't see. Yeah, I mean, he kept us up, and so many times. But Arnautovic kept us up 2 years ago, and now everybody hates him because he left. And obviously the circumstances were crap, but it was such a long time ago. I think he did so much more for Man U and Man City, and then he ended up at Juventus. Like, sometimes people seem to forget he played for West Ham. Because, what is he? He's like 30, 36, 37 now. Plays back in Argentina after spending China, where he just went there literally for the money. He played there for about a year. He went back to Argentina.
Yeah.
I just made a free 1 million Chinese dollars or whatever. So like, it's just like, again, I mean, it's not a good sign in whatever league we're in next season, in my opinion. Maybe for the Championship because there's less quality, but again, it's just more like we're always linked with Tevez coming back. We have been for years. I mean, he said when he left us all them years ago, he wants to come back one day. I remember the summer we moved to the Olympic Stadium, Sullivan come out and said he offered Tevez shitloads of money or what, you can Tevez turned it down. There's always that link. It's like it's a PR stunt. I just don't believe it.
Andy.
Well, at this point, we're not playing actual striker up top, so I mean, I'd take him back at this point just to kind of throw it against the wall and see if it works. But I mean, I think he uses this as kind of he'll always be the legendary Carlos Tevez. He's always said he's come back. He's always loved the club. He's always appreciated that we were the first European club for him to come and be successful with and whatever. I mean, again, if we're down in the Championship, does he, does the mythical Carlos Tevez fire us back up? Does he, keep this thing kind of, but again, yeah, you're right. 13, 14 years ago, we're talking about. I mean, I love the guy, but I just think at this point, he's not really going to give you a whole lot more other than they can't give you nothing, right? We couldn't possibly bring Carlos Tevez and make him score nothing like we do everybody else. That wouldn't fit the myth, would it?
Can I just ask, do you see him as a West Ham legend? Like, genuinely?
I think the story is the legend more than he is. I think the kind of the Great Escape is kind of the legend itself.
Yeah, but if you think about it, he was with us for one season. We didn't sign him legally, and he didn't score his first goal for us until March.
Right.
Yeah, his goals kept us up, but it took him like what 3/4 of a season to get off the mark, and then it was about 7 goals.
Yeah, I mean, but again, you're talking about it's the mythical part of it. He's the guy that was the face of that. That's what makes him the legend. And again, do you consider it that? It's not a legendary status comparative to a lot of other people. You're right.
Do you consider Arnautovic a West Ham legend?
Get the fuck out of here.
Now, see, no, because of how he left it. Now, again, that changes because Tevez had to leave.
Tell me what's different then.
We made some money off Tevez, didn't we?
Not really. Not a whole lot, I don't think.
I found out the other day we actually got 25 million off him for him. Because I remember when he went to Man U, it was a 2 million loan fee Man United to pay to us for 2 years. And then in the end, he went to Man City for 25 million. And everyone thought it was from Man United, but it was actually from us. So we actually ended up getting 25 million from him in the summer of 2009.
Yeah, see, I heard the 2 million before.
Because he was alone at Man United. He was actually he's still our player.
Gotcha. Danny, would you have him back?
Yeah, I just don't think he's a West Ham legend. I think it's not enough, to play one season and score 7 goals after not scoring for 3/4 of the season. I just don't think it's enough.
If he scored 7 goals for us at the age of 37 in 6 months, I think he would redeem himself. No, as a legend.
and then go somewhere else next season.
No, he'd probably retire by then. I mean, I don't know. But I don't know.
He probably won't come back at all. Let's be honest.
No, I know he's not. No, I was just wondering if you guys would actually want him back, even just to give him to have him around the club, like an ambassador type, on the training pitch with the guys. I mean, because he's still fit, dude. He's still fucking fit, man. He can still do some shit. I don't know, Danny. What do you think,
man? There's a few players I'd bring back. Carlos Tevez is kind of a toss-up. Championship, if he would take maybe like a pay-as-you-play contract, we don't know. I mean, I don't watch Argentinian football. I don't know how the guy's legs are anymore, and injury-wise, what he's dealt with. Dom's right. And that's what I was looking up actually on my phone. He scored 7 goals for us in 26 games. 7 of them were off the bench. Obviously, he made more of an impact than Mascherano did when they signed, but it took him a while to get going.
Yeah.
How long will it take him to get going again at 36 years old when the game's changed in the last 13 years? I think that he can make a difference, and he's an older member that can talk to the younger kids and stuff. But this is a guy that, if we're talking about,
like a Zabaleta, but up top.
Yeah, well, if we're talking about someone that's gonna impact the youngsters and and push them in the right direction, this is a guy that went from Man United to Manchester City.
Yeah,
that's and on Andrew's. Yeah, I don't consider Tevez a legend. I consider him more like an idol or hero based on his short time here. And I also don't consider someone, for example, like Payet as a legend. Now, he's going to go down as a legend, but he's always going to be considered a snake more than a legend because of his departure. Yeah. So to me, I would take Tevez back on a pay-as-you-play, but he's got to work with us on the wages. And I wouldn't start the guy. I'd give him 20 minutes a game maybe if we need a goal. But
yeah,
it's kind of a negative move if we do it. In my fault.
I know it.
What does it say about us?
Like I said before, wages as well. He'll want big money.
Maybe. As far as I read, I don't know if this is true or not, but his Boca salary, his Boca wages are being donated to charity. He doesn't even take his fucking money.
Oh, really?
Because obviously he took so much money in China that I don't think he needs money anymore.
I think he was on 800 grand a week out there.
Fucking ridiculous.
800 grand a week.
His last salary with Manchester, his last weekly salary at Manchester City before he left the Premier League was £340,000 a week. That's nothing.
How does he eat? I mean,
how does he eat? Well, it depends. Is it 800,000 yen or is it 800,000 pounds?
But the state of the guy looks like he eats fucking bricks.
Yeah.
No, he's looking, dude. He's looking skinny, man. He's
I
looking
remember when
skinny.
you first I didn't know nothing about it.
Has anyone watched El Apache on Netflix?
No, I started to watch it and then I fell asleep.
Mate,
What's it called?
it's that drama about El Apache, the Carlos Tevez story. It's on Netflix. Mate, it is so good. It's about his life growing up in Argentina. It's absolutely superb. I highly recommend it. Because you read all about his childhood, how he got that scar on his chest.
Yeah,
you know, it's so good. You know, growing up in the streets of Argentina when it's quite rough, had a lot of gangs, had a lot of drug deals, like cartels. It's very good.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that. I'll have to watch that again. They keep coming up with new fucking movies all the time, soccer related movies, football related movies that I gotta. I had in my list. Where the fuck did Danny go?
I'm right here.
All right.
Watch it.
My friends, I'm moving out. My friend's helping me move tonight, so I just had to let him in and put him in the other room.
All right. Well, just want to say at this point, we do have a lot of people in the chat. So thank you, Foshizi Tebow and Gary Perridge, who came over with me to England.
He's a legend. That guy's a legend.
And,
he just told us he's a legend. So.
No, he's a legend. He is, man. You meet him, you'll know. You'll never forget. Tebow's in there too, and Ray Borum, our host for Tuesday nights, except for last Tuesday and not this Tuesday. But anyway, what the hell are we going to talk about now? Shit, I forgot what we were going to say. Oh yeah, the Chelsea preview. Sorry guys, get distracted because I keep looking at this fucking image of Moyes on my phone. And I'm like, you can't really see it. But anyway, I keep remembering something that Andrew said earlier about us wanting to, build our youth together, because that's what Moyes said, right? I mean, that's technically what he said. He wants to keep building a youthful, he wants to go youth. Anyway, I don't believe a word he fucking says, period. I mean, after watching the last two matches, I'll never listen to anything that he says again, David Moyes, because he's fucking out of his mind. So that said, let's talk about what we expect on Wednesday. So, Danny, we'll start with you and go clockwise.
I don't expect much. I don't think many people do. It's going to be interesting to see. I know we spoke about it, but interesting to see how Rice plays against Chelsea. If he's heads with it or if he's got a point to prove to try and make the move. I don't know if Haller's back, but if he's back,
he's not.
Okay, well, then I think.
Ogbonna, they're saying that Ogbonna might start, though. There's rumors saying that he might start. I'm not saying he's starting. I'm saying he might start.
He's the better defender than Balbuena is. Balbuena done all right against Tottenham for the most part.
Yeah, he did. He did better than Diop did.
So he's gonna obviously drop Balbuena if Ogbonna's ready, but I don't see us scoring again. And that's the problem. Where do the goals come from? Our top scorers got what's Haller got this year? 6-7 goals, and 4 of them came in the first month or so. 2 of them in the same game against Watford.
It's been so long.
David Moyes, I saw a meme the other day that I laughed at. I literally laughed sitting in the car with my friend, and it was a meme that David Moyes says, "That's what I do. I win." David Moyes has got the worst record now as a West Ham manager.
Yeah.
He's worse than Avram Grant.
Yeah.
The squad that we have, and I say all the time, the squad that we have should be fighting Europe. And I'll say it again, that I think something is going on in the back and he's not kicking these players up the arse in training. We shouldn't be in this predicament. I think the formation needs to change. We need to look at the lineup we played against Southampton. If we're going to have any chance against Chelsea, who are a faster-paced offensive team like Pulisic, Willian, Pedro, like speedy little Gonzalez players.
And decent wing fullbacks as well.
Yeah.
The center halves are iffy, but
well, yeah, you think if they play Emerson or Alonso at left back, they're probably 2 of the most advanced left backs in the league besides Robertson from Liverpool. And who starts at right back? Fredericks has got pace, but Fredericks is not a Premiership footballer.
No, he's not.
I mean, that's the only option we have, to be honest. I feel as though if we score, then we have to score first. Because if we go 1-0 down, it's going to be 3 or 4-0 from this time. And yeah, that's my preview over. I think we're going to get fucked again, like we always do. And then,
yeah. Andrew.
I said it the other day when I was on with Lee. Once the other clubs score first, game feels over, and that's not how this team should even think. But they do. It just as soon as the goal goes in, they're like, well. Now at this point, goal differential is huge in everything. So even if you go down one, you're fighting to keep that second one out, even if that's what you're doing. I want them to win every game out, but it's just it comes to a point where you're just watching it. It's like, the goal went in. That's it. That's the game, because you just have nothing as far as an offense right now. You had a few good chances in the first half against Tottenham. Obviously, Bowen hit got real close, but you got to build on something, even if it's a point right now.
Fornals missed like 2 games, missed 2 fucking, not sitters, but like
we needed to score both of those. That's the kind of thing that we need to do better as well.
Which he has in the past. No, I mean, I don't know. He's
the Moyes effects.
Yeah.
I just think this team needs.
What's your prediction?
I'd like to say they're going to scrap a point. I'd like to say something. I don't care if it's a lucky goal. I don't care if it's. I would like to say that they're going to come out with a point and build on something, because you're going in after that against teams that you can beat, and you have to beat. You handle your games in front of you. What everybody else doesn't matter. That's how they have to look at it.
Ray says, with no fans at the stadium, I missed the Dawn rants. He says right here, sorry, my fat fingers, I meant Dom rants. But yeah.
There was Dom.
No. Yeah. Ray's a good guy. He's a good host of our shows. So Dom, prediction and what do you expect, man? Anything?
Well, we're not going to win. That's what I'll say straight away. We're not going to win. Best we can get is a draw. It wouldn't surprise me if we draw. We always turn up against this lot. We beat them early in the season, so you know. The trouble is, though, man, it's the behind closed doors. This should be the perfect game to have an atmosphere and a crowd there, as it always is against Chelsea. Whenever we play them at home, we hate them. I can't stand them. I despise them from the bottom of my heart. And everyone always, you want to be there to get behind them. So, the fact that it's behind closed doors is a disadvantage already. Now, Chelsea, I think, they're having a good season. Given what was expected at the beginning of the season, Lampard, no signings, they've done well. So, it's obviously going to be a very hard game. The trouble is with us, no Haller. And he's not good enough to start. It's going to be another false 9. It's going to be. We don't have an identity. We don't have a system. I just think this season, I've never ever seen a West Ham side so bereft of confidence. Because it's a confidence thing. We've not scored for 122 days. We've not won since. I know obviously it can't be helped with the suspension of the league because of the coronavirus pandemic, but there's nothing to me apart from Jared Bowen that suggests we can get a goal, let alone get a win. I just think that side's just so badly bereft of confidence. But it's a London derby. Yeah, there's no fans there, so it is a huge disadvantage. But we can easily nick a point. I just don't think we're going to win.
Yeah. So I don't know. Obviously, I've seen a bunch of different predicted lineups, but most of them are some sort of 4-2-3-1, but the wings higher, or technically a 4-3-3 with Antonio in the middle up top, and then Bowen and Fornals in the other front three or wings or whatever you want to call it. I fucking hate anything having to do with Antonio starting, especially at forward or at striker. I'd rather see him on the wing. I'd preferably see him off the bench as a super sub, because that's where he's best, when he gives all his energy in a short period of time. rather than gives all his energy in a little bit and then he's shit the rest of the fucking game. Like he's only
I
good
think
for.
he's so much better with a strike partner, Tim. I
Yeah.
think he plays so much better when he plays in the.
And that will
top
never
two.
happen with Moyes, right?
Well,
It
it won't
didn't
happen at the
happen
moment
with
because
him.
Ale is injured.
Yeah.
Well, he
They
has
done
options. I mean, we got Zandy Silva. You can give him a shot. You give it Yeti a shot. If you go into it, I mean, how do I put it? We weren't expecting to beat Spurs. We weren't expecting to beat Wolves. I don't think so. I don't think Moyes was either. So why not give these other players a chance and actually give Antonio a striking partner, like you're saying, in those matches, or even Chelsea? I mean,
No, I agree,
that's the
but,
best you want to do it. When you're playing Norwich and you're playing friggin' Watford at the end of the season, Aston Villa, obviously not. I mean, unless it works.
But David Moyes doesn't know how to play football.
No,
He
clearly
just
not.
sits there and parks the bus to go. Just a useless dinosaur with eyes like Gollum.
Real
He's
quick,
for the worst.
yeah, that's it infuriates me, and we're gonna get into that right now. So Ray Force, aka Ray Borum, he asked earlier on. I just didn't pull it up because we were in the middle of the question. Where is it? Okay, so in or out at the end of the season for Moyes, regardless if we stay up or not, and do we think he's safe because they know they're going to sell?
I'd sack him now.
I'd sack him now. I'd sack him yesterday.
Yes.
Why not give Kevin
I
Nolan?
What was that?
Why not give Kevin Nolan a chance? I mean, we have nothing. We have everything to lose right now, and David Moyes has shown absolutely nothing.
Well, that's what Fulham did, and it didn't work out for them with Scott Parker. They got relegated, and now look at them.
Fulham were dead and buried though, so you know they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Nolan has got that.
They're doing all right.
He was I mean, David Moyes is just, I could not see him as a manager besides Everton. And he was a good manager at Everton, but then he went to Man U and everything slipped. His track record is not Premiership manager.
It's dog shit. Yeah, you're right.
And unfortunately, if we go down, we're stuck for Moyes next season. That's the reality of it.
But also, this was also such a long time ago now. It's 7 years since he was appointed at Man United. It's been, 8, 9. The ways he did it at Everton were very, very long time ago. Those days are outdated now anyway. So, the guy, like I said, the guy's a washed up dinosaur manager. He's useless, basically. I would never have brought him back. I would have brought Sam Allardyce back. I would have sat him Moyes after the what game was it when we were really, really bad? The Brighton game or the Arsenal game? I would have got rid of him.
Yeah. So Allardyce and Nolan were the two guys that I personally was saying on this show, like when we were talking about Sack and Pellegrini, those are the two that I wanted. Just for the fact that Nolan has worked with such a guy like Allardyce, and he's a hard ass, and that's what this team needs. They need someone who is a hard ass, but not a fucking dinosaur either. Nolan's a lot younger, so he can kind of somewhat relate to the players, I guess you'd say. However, if we're gonna sign a dinosaur, it would have been, like you said, Dom, Sam Allardyce, just because, man, can you imagine Allardyce with fucking firepower? Can you imagine how a defensive Allardyce with fucking firepower? I mean, God damn it. I mean, I keep thinking to myself, what are the 15-16 season been like with him? I mean, because with Payet, you know what I mean? What would Allardyce have been like with Payet? But that's past anyway. But now with Allaire, with fucking Anderson, with Fornals, with Bowen, with all these fucking awesome attackers, supposedly they just mismanaged. Imagine Allardyce with those motherfuckers.
Just not good enough.
Let's Bowen's good.
Bowen's good. Anderson isn't. I think Fornals
needs one
more season to actually. I think Fornals needs another season to actually be judged, as does Halle. I'd give him one more season. The trouble is Big Sam. I mean, that guy loves to sit back, and he's a defensive manager now. Our defense would have gradually improved, like not gradually, like really, really improved.
Yeah,
under Big Sam, because we haven't had a good defense since he left, and that was
correct.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He doesn't attack enough for me to utilize the firepower. And let's be honest, we ain't really got much firepower. Anderson's a complete flop. Fornals don't do it enough, and Bowen's the only player who can get a goal for me, as I just said. But you'll be guaranteed to survive, and that's what we need to do.
Yeah,
because
I'd
he
like
will
that.
keep you up.
I'd like to
100%.
say something if you don't mind. There's a reason these managers aren't managers there anymore. So why are we talking about bringing back someone who's obviously not there?
Well, the
And, like,
difference is that Allardyce has a track
is a one
record,
comeback.
a positive track record versus Moyes.
yeah,
Moyes' track record is shit. You know what I mean?
You-
So
we-
if we
we're
have the
not
choice,
talking-
someone who saves people.
So what's the ambition? The ambition of the club was to move to London Stadium and be this big European team. But we're
Yeah,
we're,
but
we're sitting here to saying it's okay to
we
settle.
know.
The ambition was Bielsa and what's his name?
love
The
Bielsa.
other Benitez. But what happened was they got denied. They got rejected. West Ham, the GSB got
Who wanna
rejected by
come?
them, so they settled for Bilic.
Yeah, who would want to come to this club? Look at the state of us. Who would want to come? I would love to say Pochettino
Exactly.
would come to us. I would love to say that. But that guy is a Champions League manager.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I necessarily would take him because he was a Tottenham manager, but
yeah, he loves his Spurs.
yeah, he's just like
When,
that category of
when
manager.
you
What, John?
when you come out and say, you know, we know the ambition was, well, we thought the ambition was to get Champions League football and, you know, a better manager. It's not happening. It's not happening under this lot. You can forget about that. It's not happening.
Yeah.
You know, it's a
Yeah.
lie. That's what it was built on. That was the foundations. That's what they sold us. It's been a lie. It's not going to happen. So right now, I would bite your hand off for Allardyce, because if it was between him and Moyes, Allardyce all day long. Yes, it wasn't pretty under him, but let's be honest, he was the only manager they've ever appointed, along with Bilic, with long-term plans. And yeah, you know, I think Allardyce had, if he changed ways, he would be, you know, he could take teams to the next level. But the fact of the matter is, he doesn't. But right now, we need that. You know, we need someone to keep us up.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, he isn't a bad manager. I mean, he got the England job, albeit, you know, it all went wrong when he revealed what a greedy bastard he was. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I would have
you-
loved to
you-
have
you
seen
could
him with that
just-
England squad, man, with actually good players, just to at least say or see what he could do with good players. We've never seen what he could do with good, you know, a good fucking big squad. Because his signings are, again, defensive. They're not really. He doesn't have brilliant fucking attacking signings either. It doesn't help him out at all.
No,
Like,
he
I mean,
doesn't.
yeah, but at the same time, he does his job. Every player, I understand that the players that we've had on the show that were under him, they probably have to say nice things about him, but literally every single one of them said the same thing. They have never, under any other manager, trained as hard and meticulous as under Sam Allardyce. The guy was a fucking genius when it came down to sports science. He was way ahead of his time, and even when it was his time, and if other people were catching up, his trainings were so they loved it. I mean, they said it was absolutely the best, most
Yeah.
meticulous. The guy scouted like you wouldn't believe, like scouted his opponents. He had people scouting his opponents like you wouldn't believe. He knew exactly what to do. Unfortunately, he didn't have the fucking people, the staff, the players to do exactly what he wanted all the time.
Tim. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You look at this. You look at that squad we had in the season we got promoted back to the Premier League. It was the 2012 to 2013 season, right? You look at who we had to play. We had to play Matt Taylor. We had to play Gary O'Neill. We had Nolan, whose legs were ended up top scorer, of course, but you know, ineffective as a midfielder in my eyes. Matt Jarvis, Carlton Cole up front because Andy Carroll was injured most of the season. If not, it was Maiga. And we finished 10th. We know.
Yeah.
You put them players in now, we would have been relegated already.
Yeah.
That's testament to the job he done.
Yeah.
With such a poor group of players, in my eyes.
Yeah.
And he stabilised us well. The season after was a big struggle. We were in the relegation zone up until Christmas, and then he turned it round. I think Carroll coming back was big, and then I don't know, man. He shot himself in the foot the following season because we were doing well up until Christmas.
Yeah, it
And
was
then
the opposite. Yeah.
all went
Wait,
down. Yeah.
Allardyce his contract ran out and they decided to move on. It was kind of just one of those things that, hey, we have a different ambition.
Karen
If I'm not
Brady.
mistaken.
No. It's kept telling you, man. It's all about it's marketing. You're moving into the big stadium. You need ambition, and apparently Allardyce was not ambitious enough for them. They wanted to sign someone, so that's why I said before their first two targets were Bielsa and Benitez, and then Bilic was third choice, and they got him. And again, which was fine because he had the ties to West Ham and everything else, and he managed the Champions League with fucking Besiktas, whatever the fuck they are. But again. It wasn't the smartest choice. I mean, anybody, with that fucking, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to get in trouble.
Smart,
I don't see how you
telling the guy he's going when you're 4 for Christmas.
Yeah.
Criminal, man.
I don't see, if you go down, there's no way you can keep Moyes. If you stay up, they're going to come find some way to keep him and try whatever plan, because he didn't come back to do the half season again. They had to probably make some sort of deal like, if you stay up or whatever, we'll move forward with whatever. But I don't want a manager that you hear immediately after a game, VAR failed us. It's too late at this point. Look, everybody's going to have a gripe against a handball that's missed or a foul that's not there.
Yeah.
The first thing should not be, we lost 2-0 to Tottenham. VAR messed stuff up. Forget it. Own up to it. Your team sucked. Plain and simple.
It's just fucking. I don't buy this at all. Bilic has the best record post Pardew. I don't fucking believe that, man. I don't believe that. But
he probably does.
I personally, I like Bilic. I did. His lineups were just so all over the map. That was the problem for me.
Yeah, mismanaging people, putting people out of positions, and and his signings weren't all that great all the time. I mean, we've never had a manager with perfect record.
I think if we backed him, I think if you backed Bilic with the money that's been given to Pellegrini, I reckon he would have done all right.
What team did Bilic have?
However,
go on.
You are right. You are right about him playing players out of position. I genuinely believe that had he played Tompkins at right back instead of Antonio for those final few matches, I think we wouldn't have lost those games to Swansea and Stoke. Because I just think it was apparent Antonio went to right back, and it showed when he just kept making mistake after mistake, annoyingly. But I mean, he's my favourite West Ham manager in the time I supported the club. Most definitely, and I was gutted him. But I just think had he been backed, he could have been good, man.
Would anybody back Declan as a manager?
I mean,
no.
not. I mean,
let the guy be a legend. Let the guy live his life.
He's not managed.
Well, again, that's my.
years.
I'm on the same page with you guys, but I mean, if you're looking for somebody that has
a fight, the passion.
I mean, Nolan is the guy at this point that has that passion.
Maybe as an assistant manager or something. Right. I don't know, because he that fire, that passion on the bench would be fantastic for our squad in training as well. But the guy can't manage though. I mean,
fucking his record with Sunderland was horrific.
I mean, but better than Gus Poyet. But yeah,
Sunderland. There's no saving.
Gus Poyet replaced him.
Yeah.
Was it Poyet that replaced him? I thought he replaced Poyet.
Replaced him.
I thought he replaced Poyet.
He replaced Martin O'Neill.
Really?
He got the job. They appointed him after he was managing Swindon in League 2 and League 1. So it was a bit of a weird one. And he's not managed since. So he's not managed for 7 years.
Go ahead, Tim.
That was Allardyce's team that finished 7th, not Bilic's team. Sorry, Tebow.
No, he's right. He's right. No. It was
Bilic finished 7th.
It was Allardyce's defense and his fucking team, man. His team.
It was Tompkins.
It was James Tompkins. Save the day.
All right, guys.
We got to wrap this up. I didn't realize what time it was because we're having so much fun. But we're going over an hour. So actually, we're almost at an hour right now, actually. But anyway, there's a few things I got to say real quick. Dom, thank you so much, obviously, for coming on tonight. Appreciate it. Good seeing you again.
No worries, man.
Andrew, same with you. Hope to have you back on soon. And Dan, same thing. We'll get you back on soon. And anybody else wants to come on the show as a guest or join or a host or whatever, StreamYard allows us to host from our phones now. So don't let the computer hold you back. If you want to host a show on our network, just reach out to me on social media somehow, some way. I answer all the messages. What else is there? Oh yeah, good friends, real quick. If you like heavy metal, like I do, and check out these dudes on Facebook, West Ham Metalheads. You have this logo too. Made this awesome flag. You can't really see it behind me, man. Metalheads, Overland and Sea, dude. So West Ham and Metal, can't go wrong. So check them out on Facebook. Good friend Nick Tucker and good stuff. So also check out their, crosshammers.com as well. And what else? I got to say some housekeeping stuff. AmericanHammers.net. Check that out. And we're all hoping for a draw, I guess, at the best on Wednesday. And we'll be, so Wednesday, there's no hammer shots again. We're giving an extra week for Adam, who has a follow-up appointment, on Wednesday, ironically. So anyway, the following Wednesday, a week from Wednesday, we're going to have Wally and John Nolan from Friday Night Likes go against each other on hammer shots. So that'll be fun. And what else is there? So Thursday we got nothing because Hammered Out's taking the week off.
Oh, where's my life?
But what is it? Wednesday. Sorry, it's a match day. So yeah, there's no hammer shots, but there are going to be two shows. There's going to be the watch along, which we've been doing lately, and we're going to do the post match show with Chris and Irish Tommy, which is always a good time with those dudes. So if anybody wants to do the watch along with us, message me. Let me know ahead of time so I can plan this thing appropriately. We can have up to 6 people on our StreamYard at once. You can do it from your phone. You can do it from whatever, as long as you don't, as long as you have headphones. I mean, or not headphones, but as long as there's no feedback. Anyway, thank you guys so much. We will see you on Wednesday. And I don't think there's any shows tomorrow night. We're taking a break to prepare and brace ourselves for Wednesday. So I'll talk to you 3 off the air real quick before we go. But for the rest of you guys, come on, you irons. Thank you guys. Have a great night.